Welcome back. Well, L&T Tech Services is in focus in trade today after the company announced signing a multi-year partnership with global energy firm BP. Both companies aim to focus on improving operational excellence. Amit Chadha, who's the MD and CEO of L&T Technology Services, joins in now to discuss more on this partnership. Mr. Chadha, thank you very much for joining in. If you can first start by sharing the size of the deal and the tenure.
This is in the plant engineering segment. We will be servicing BP with digital transformation as well as plant engineering services. Now, from a tenure standpoint, this is a multi-year relationship. It's a strategic partnership that we have signed, and this deal will ramp up over a period, or relationship will ramp up over a period of time, and we aspire to make this one of our larger relationships over the next few years.
All right. Could you give us a sense? It's a multi-year deal. We do understand that. Some more color on the size of the deal over the tenure. How much does it add to your revenues?
The way I would look at it is more than so. Look at it as look at it as multi-year. Second, look at this as aspiration is to get this to becoming one of our top 10 accounts, if I may. So that's the aspiration. And our top 10 accounts are our top 10 accounts. So that's sort of a size that we're looking for. See, the reason I'm hesitating in putting a number to this is because this relationship will ramp up, and the way we are seeing the kind of work that we've been discussing and the kind of value we're thinking of creating, we do believe that this will get to it in the next, let's say, about 3 years.
Okay, so when do you start executing, and will this contribute to FY24 guidance?
This will, we've already started executing. So we are meeting, we are discussing various projects, and we have started to work on those already. Yes, it will contribute to FY24 revenues. And we do expect, as any relationship, it takes a little bit of time for things to solidify between the parties and for us to start seeing value, to put down foundations, right? Before we can run, we need to walk, and before we walk, we need to take steps. So we are in that step phase right now. It will contribute to FY24 revenues, and it will definitely contribute to FY25 revenues and beyond. And
any change then to your revenue guidance for this year of 17.5% to 18.5% on account of this deal?
So, we're too close to the end of a quarter for me to comment on that, but I do want to share with you that I feel very strongly positive about being in that guidance for sure, right? 17.5 to 18.5 bracket. And we're starting to now talk about CY24, which I'm sure you will be more interested in as we come back to you in January. So we continue to work with various clients. Happy to share with you that we have signed partnerships with GCP as well as with AWS over the last few weeks to bolster up our efforts in AI as well. So we look at digital engineering, we look at digital transformation and plant engineering as key areas for us to continue to grow in.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, in fact, we are more keen on the CY24 outlook and budgets. But before that, if you can share with us how Q3 has shaped up for you.
So Q3 is in line with what we had talked about in October, right? And that's where it is right now. And we continue to execute very close to the end of the quarter. So unfair for me to talk about it, but it's similar to what we guided at the end of quarter two. CY24 budgets are in discussion. We just concluded our digital engineering awards. We also concluded our second client advisory council. And we do believe that there is a good, strong demand for CY24. Sitting right here, if I was here last year to this year, I definitely feel a little more confident about CY24, similar time frame.
All right. And what about your margin guidance for FY24 and 25? Could you give us a sense?
No changes. Absolutely no changes. On execution, on the road, and the year-end execution, absolutely. In fact, the pipeline, the deal closures, all of that has been in line with whatever we've been talking about.
Okay. What about North America? Because that was weak. It reported around a 0.7% growth in the previous quarter. Any improvement that you can share with us when it comes to, say, client conversations, decision making?
Client conversations, decision making continues to be there. Because North America is a bigger market for us, so we need to grow. The quantum of growth has to be higher for it to show up. Europe continues to do well for us, but there are some real bright spots that we are seeing with AI. We are seeing bright spots with plant engineering. We are seeing bright spots with medical. We are seeing bright spots in automotive and commercial vehicles, and I do believe that will help us as we move forward into CY24.
All right. Since you're talking about all the optimistic things, let's ask you, is there any segment which is weak for you?
Not at this stage. I mean, I'm sure when we come back in January, we'll talk to you a lot more about it. But today is about trying to celebrate a key milestone for us. It has taken us some time to sign this agreement and partnership. And these are large companies and corporates, and it's our endeavor to make sure that we can create value by executing properly for such clients.
All right, Mr. Chadha, thanks very much for joining in and speaking with us, and all the very best for your new tie-up with BP. Thanks very much. We'll take a short break.